I want to thank you all for hopping on today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chase McQueen. I am the retail sales manager here at TRUE. I am also joined by Rob. He's going to be watching the chat there. He's our one of the commercial reps, and he'll be watching the chat for any questions that pop up. We're going to save all the questions for the end here, walk through everything, kind of a little roadmap. We're going to do a little bit of a TRUE 101 training, kind of go through what we have set up here, the Performance Series treadmills, and then we will do a full walkthrough of the new consoles that we have. And then after that, we'll kind of open the chat up for a Q&A. So if anything didn't get covered, if your question didn't get covered, we can cover it then. Okay, so we can go ahead and get started. A little bit of a TRUE 101 training. So what makes TRUE so great? Well, we have been building premium retail treadmills for about 45 years. We are the largest privately held fitness manufacturer in the country. And also, TRUE treadmills are known for being some of the most quietest, smoothest, and most durable treadmills in the industry. With that being said, they were designed with computer balanced flywheels, so that and the quality frame drive and the shock absorption system, which is the FitX system. I'll talk about that a little bit in a bit here. But all of those kind of combined make TRUE the best treadmills in the world, in our opinion here. So I'm going to kind of go through, when a customer walks in, where you should take them. So when they come in, you should take them to hopefully you have a 8000 Performance Series 8000 treadmill with a 22-inch touchscreen. This is because this is basically like our unicorn treadmill. It's going to have all of the features of the rest of the Performance Series. So you can kind of educate them on all of the available features on the treadmill. And then after they are well versed in all of the features, they can kind of do the elimination and see, what's most important to them, what best fits them. So with that being said, that is what we have here today, the Performance Series 8000 with a 22-inch console. So I'm going to kind of go over some of the features, or all of the features that we have for this treadmill. So starting off, we have our steel frame design, obviously. This one does have a reversible deck, so if one side starts getting wear out, you can flip it over, use the other side. Hopefully it's a bit less maintenance for you. I talked about that balanced flywheel on the motor. The flywheel is basically the same size as the motor, and it balances it out, kind of catches that inertia, so that's what gives it that really smoothness and quietness. The motor is a 3 horsepower. It's going to have a 25-year parts warranty. And then the FitX system, that is what I talked about earlier. So that is our shock absorption system. Basically with the deck, it was kind of designed like a running shoe, but in reverse. So it has a little bit more cushion up at the front here, where your heel would strike the deck, a little bit extra cushion, so that way it reduces the impact on your joints and stress on your legs. And then towards the back here, it's a little bit more firm, so that way when you're pushing off of the ball of your foot and your toes, you have a better takeoff. With the deck as well, or with the belt and deck, it does have an orthopedic belt, so that is just an extra lubricated belt. It gives it a little bit of that extra cushion. You can actually kind of think of it as whenever you put like a small cushion under a rug and it just kind of gives it that extra softness, that's basically what that extra lubrication orthopedic belt does for the treadmill. And then also with the 8000, we have the soft select. So that's going to be right over here on the side. It's basically an adjuster to adjust the firmness of the deck. And it has like a little lever at the bottom. You can adjust it from soft to firm with a scale of 1 to 8 here, 1 being the softest and 8 being the most firm. And how it kind of works is that lever provides support within the deck. So whenever you bring it back here to the 1, it kind of lessens that support, so that way the top of the deck here has more flex, so it provides more cushion, which makes it more soft. And then the reverse of that, if you pull it up to the 8 where it says firm, that support is now going to be up here towards the top of the deck, and therefore it's going to not have as much flex, which in turn makes it more firm. So that is the Soft Select. That is going to have a 10-year parts warranty. And then we have our 22-inch Android-based console up here, which, like I said, we're going to do a full walkthrough in a minute, but just kind of do a little overview real quick. It is an Android-based technology, so it has Bluetooth capabilities as well as streaming capabilities through 3 different avenues. You can do the pre-downloaded apps, you could do wireless mirroring, and then also the HDMI ports. It also comes with 24 built-in workouts, and you can't forget the heart rate cruise control, which basically allows you to stay at your target heart rate throughout your workout. It kind of works similarly to a cruise control on your car. You'll set your target heart rate, and then the speed and incline will adjust based on you staying at that heart rate. So now that we kind of went over the features of the 8000, the kind of differences for the Performance series with the 1 and the 3, they kind of all have the same basic design to start, but then you kind of bump up and upgrade as you go up from the 1000 to the 3 to the 8000. So the 8000 has all of those features that I just laid out for you. The 3000 is going to have all of those except for the Soft Select. That one you have to upgrade to the 8000 for. And then when you go down to the 1000, that one just does not have the orthopedic belt and the Soft Select. So it's kind of more of your starting point there. And then also the 8000 is the only one with the reversible deck as well. So you kind of have a little upgrade series as you go through. And that's why you want to start off at the 8000, because then once your customer sees all of the available features, they can kind of adjust and see, well, you know, maybe I don't need this, or maybe I do, and they can make an informed decision based on that. So, and then what's also nice is we have so many different variations of this. You know, we have 3 different bases, and then also the 4 different consoles. We have the 10-inch, the 16-inch, the 22-inch, and then also the LCD. That's going to be available at store level. But we have those 4 console options and then the 3 base options. So in total, you have about 12 different versions of, you know, TRUE treadmills that they can kind of custom pick depending on what's best for them. Now, going to introduce the Octane treadmill over here. So if the customer does have a limited budget, that is totally okay, because we now have the same console, the Android-based technology, on a pretty solid standard treadmill base here. So the standard treadmill base is more of off-the-shelf brand, so kind of give you an idea. TRUE is going to be more of like your premium brand, and then Octane is more your entry-level kind of standard brand. It does have a 2.5 brushless DC motor. It's going to be a little bit different than, or actually a lot different than our TRUE motor here. Just as an example for, you know, the difference between premium and kind of more entry level, I guess. The motor does not have it's a brushless DC motor, which TRUE has actually never used before. So this is all kind of new to us, but apparently the brushless part of things will create a little bit less maintenance maybe. And then also this thing is pretty quiet. It's almost just as quiet, I would say, as the TRUE treadmills. However, it doesn't have that balanced flywheel that the TRUE treadmills do have. So without the balanced flywheel catching that inertia going with the motor, it does have a little bit of a lag right around like 0.5 speed, which nobody's really using the treadmill at 0.5 speed, but you know, whenever you start it, you can feel it a little bit whenever you start, you know, you hit go. But that's just a small example of, you know, this is kind of more standard off-the-shelf brand, and then if you want all of the extra fancy features, you can get bumped up to the TRUE Treadmill. So hopefully you have quite a lot of options when a customer comes in, whether maybe they come in just for the sticker price of the Octane because it's entry level, and maybe if they want the extra features, you can bump them up to the TRUE. Or if they come in for a TRUE Treadmill and they just don't need all the extra features and they're really just stuck on the price, you can bring them down and catch them still at the Octane here. So got a lot of options. The consoles, it's very nice because you only have to learn one console. It's going to have the same technology as I said, but they are just going to be in different plastics. So with the Octane Treadmill, it is just one base. You'll see we have two up here just to kind of give you an idea of the different sizes. We have the 16 and the 22 here. So one treadmill base, but three different versions for the three different size consoles. Okay, so I think that's probably good, and we can start walking through the console, do like a full walkthrough. All right, so I'm going to sign out here real quick. Can you see that okay? Okay. Okay, so this is your walk-up screen. It's going to have you sign in if you can. They do have up to 10 different user profiles. It's very nice if you have multiple people in the family using it. It saves all your workout information, all of your login information for all of the apps and everything, your custom workouts. So it's nice to have the profile on here. Basically, all you have to do is hit sign up, and you'll enter your username, password, email, birthday, and then you send an email over to yourself to get verified. You'll go ahead and verify it on your email, and then you are good to go. You can have this, they have a forgot password if you have that, and then they also have an option to log you in automatically. So kind of like your standard login here, but we're going to go ahead and go in as guest. So if you don't want to use the user profile, you don't have to. You could just hit guest and you're good to go. We're going to walk through the console from the top left all the way across, and then down to the right corner, and then back around. I'm going to try to hit every button so that way I can show you guys what each of them do. So up here you'll see your little icon, your avatar. It is it just says guest right now, but that'll be your username. That's not a button, but you can hit this edit right here. That will allow you to edit your personal info. So you can edit your avatar here. You can customize them and choose which one you would like. You could change your password in here, and then also your personal info, so your height, your weight, and your gender. You can adjust here as well. Okay, we're gonna exit out of that. Going forward, here's gonna be your wearables. So we're gonna click this, and just wanna make sure your Bluetooth is on here. This is trying to connect to like any heart rate straps, watches, anything like that. That is on here, so that is that button. And then we're going to move right along. You'll find these in a couple places, but this is one access point to them. This is just connecting to Bluetooth, so just want to make sure that's on, and it is looking for any devices that we might have. So this is where you'd connect like your headphones, speaker, phone, watch, anything like that as well. We will go back. And then Wi-Fi, that's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to show you anyway, just so you know how to connect. We are connected here, so that's good, but this is where you would connect if you haven't already done so. Okay, moving right along to the settings down here. Like I said, there's another pathway to the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi adjusting. That is the connection settings. So it's just going to pull up basically the same screens that you just saw. It's just another way of getting there, essentially. But just so you know. Okay, so that was the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And then we're going to go to the machine settings. So this is kind of where you'll adjust the actual console. So you'll see the screen brightness here. You can move it down or up to adjust the brightness, the volume. Right here, you have a couple different options to adjust the volume as well. Mind you, these do not have speakers, so that volume adjuster is solely for if you have headphones or a Bluetooth speaker connected. So that's what that volume will do. And I think this also adjusts the beeping noise that you hear too. So you have a couple different modes that you can have on. For example, we turn the sleep mode off here because we don't want the screens turning off while we are not using them. But if you did want it on and you did want the machine to completely turn off after, I think, like 15-20 minutes of not using it, it will do that. Auto lock-in, child lock, and then that beep mode, that's the little beeping that you hear, and it's off now, so now you don't hear the beeping. And then you can adjust the date and time as well. So it's kind of like your standard settings there. You can also access updating your apps from here. So your entire list of apps are here, and you could see if it was needed to update, this would be a blue update icon, and you would just literally hit update like you would on your phone, and you're good to go. One thing to note, we did try this the first time around, logging into like Spotify or one of the apps. If it does need to be updated, it will kind of freeze and you try to log into, or not log into, but if you try to use the app while it needs to be updated, the screen will actually freeze for like 1 or 2 minutes, and in the back end it's going and updating that app automatically for you, and then you'll be good to go. But that did happen the first time around, so just be aware if it does do that, it's just the app updating, and then it'll only take like a minute or 2 for it to keep going. So okay, so that was the app update, and then the machine information. You don't really need to use this that much. The only information on here really would be your total time on the treadmill and your total distance as well. Wow, that's how you get to that. Okay, so the programs. So you guys are probably familiar with most of these, but we'll just run through them. You have your classics, your classic programs. So you could set up your goal. Once you reach the goal, the workout stops. We have your hills and your random inclines as well. So those are your classics. We have Vision Run. We have 4 different Vision Runs downloaded on here, so you can look at the very pretty scenery while you are doing your workout. We also have the fitness tests here, so this is going to be like your Army, Navy, Coast Guard, those kind of things, super fun or useful to do if you need them. Target heart rate is what I talked about earlier, so it's kind of like that cruise control car, but for your heart rate here. So you can set how much time you want to do, your target heart rate, and then also your max speed that you like to go and your max incline, so that way it doesn't just throw you up all the way, you know. You can also adjust your height and weight here, so that way it knows how to adjust you. If you have a user profile, this will pop up automatically for you, but like we're logged in as a guest for example, so we can go ahead and edit that and plug in our information. All right, so that is the target heart rate, but we're gonna go back home before we start our workout. Here's the user program. So this is going to be where you can create your custom workout if you choose to do so. So these little icons up here are going to be your different workouts. So you can't tell, but these are different workouts. So this is one saved workout, this is another one, and this is another one. So if you did create a custom workout or you did a workout manually and you save it, it'll pop up here, and then you can redo that workout and just hit play basically. Or if you wanted to do a custom workout here, this is where you would input that. So this is your speed profile, and you can adjust how much percentage you want to do. So it's pretty easy to adjust. Missed one, there we go. That's your speed, and then we're gonna do our incline. I wanna do this. And then I'll input my time and my max speed. And there's gonna be our workout. Looks good to me, and we're gonna hit go, but we're gonna go home one more time just to make sure we hit all of those programs. I think the only other ones was gonna be our intervals. So we have those here, and then we also have the marathon, so your 5K, 10K, those things. But we are going to move right along down here, and then we will show you what the workout looks like for a quick start workout here in a second. Down here you can access your media output. So if you wanted to do this before your workout starts, this would be where you would do it. You have your 3 different options: your applications, your mirroring, and your HDMI. Here's what your applications look like. So here are, I think there are about 9 preloaded apps. So YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Video, Facebook, X, Instagram, Spotify, and then Kino Map. And then we have 2 options for music as well. But Kino Map is the only one that is subscription based. If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like an app where you can do well-known races. So if you wanted to do the Boston Marathon or the New York Marathon, something like that, you can actually run those. But that one's the only one that's subscription based, that's pre-downloaded. So just so you are aware. So moving along, we have the mirror option. So we have the iOS or Android here. You can see that it's already looking for an option. Let me see if I can, oh, there we go. So you could just click whichever one that you need, and it is searching for that now, but we don't have one, so we'll go right along. We have the HDMI here. And so the HDMI port on the TRUE is right over here. This is also where you will find the USB USB import or whatever. But the HDMI port is down here, and you could plug in your Fire Stick, your Roku. So that's another way that you can stream apps that aren't on the console, and you could basically use your remote on it like it's a tablet or TV or computer. So right now it's trying to find an HDMI input, but we're going to go back home so we could start a quick workout. So we're going to hit quick start. If you don't want to use any programs, you just hit the big green button and you're good to go. And you can adjust things manually if you'd like. Okay, so this is going to be your workout main screen. So you'll see you'll have your distance up here, your incline, your pace, your speed. We have your heart rate, calories, and then your total time. You can adjust your speed or incline manually by hitting these buttons here. You can also adjust them by hitting it on the control pad down here as well. And then we also have the quick keys. So if I wanted to quickly go up to 6, I can do that and it'll just automatically go up. We're gonna go back down. And then same thing with speed, you can adjust manually, or we have those quick keys here. And then we also have the option to adjust down here at the control panel as well. So that's kind of like how you control your workout. You can view your workout here with your incline and speed. You could just hit whichever one and it will go to where you're at. We can also view through a track as well where you're at if you prefer looking at that way. And then if you don't want to do any of that and you want to do the streaming services, we have the option to do that while you're doing your workout as well. So we have the same 3 buttons up here for the mirroring, the apps, and the HDMI. So here would be the mirror option. Same screen you saw earlier, you would just connect while you're here. And then we have the applications. We have all of the ones that we saw earlier. I will go ahead and try YouTube here. Just kind of show you guys what the streaming part of it will look like. Just take a second to pull up, but it will in a second. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, it's behind the main screen here. So if you could see it, then you're good to go. But if you wanted it to go full screen, you just put the full screen button right here. And there we go. Now we can pick our YouTube video. I think Snoopy looks pretty good here. So we're gonna go ahead and click on him. Get a little Christmas vibes going. And there we go. Oh, we have an ad, but that's okay. While we're looking at the ad, we can adjust our speed and incline again by hitting this button. And there it'll tell you what your distance is, your incline, and your speed, and you can adjust it here while you're still in full screen. You don't have to exit full screen to do so. We also have the volume button here. Again, this volume button is for your headphones or if you had a Bluetooth speaker. So that is what that would adjust. So we're gonna skip that ad, and it kind of works just like a computer or tablet. You could tap it and go to full screen, and there we go. We are watching Snoopy while doing our workout. So he's having a nice cup of coffee and we're running, and it's a good time over here. So we're gonna be done with that. We're done with our workout. Let's exit out of the full screen. As you can see, it's still full screen behind here. But if we wanted to go to HDMI now, let's go ahead and click that, and then it's gonna go and try to find the HDMI port right now. We don't have one connected, so it will not pop up. But there we go. We'll go back here just to get out of the HDMI part. Okay, so I think that is pretty much all of them. We do have the volume button down here as well when you're on the main screen for the workout. But yeah, I think that is all of the main workout buttons. So finish our workout. Yep, we're all done here. We did a really tough one today. This is going to be like your data screen whenever you are done. So your exit screen, it's going to show all of your stats that you had for the workout. We did a whopping 4 minutes and 28 seconds today. Total of 0.1 distance and 6 calories. Good job, everybody. Awesome day. But yeah, you see all your stats up here. If you wanted to, they have like little graphs as well for your speed and incline, but if you wanted to enlarge that, you can go ahead and do so, and it shows you the graph. And then also all of the stats are down here. Now, if you wanted to save the workout, you had a really great workout, it was awesome, you want to do it again possibly, or just save your stats, you can go ahead and save the workout here. We don't have an account, so it's not going to save anything, but if you did have an account, it would pop up here and you can click your little icon. We're going to skip that and exit out of here. And then if your workout was just so great that you want to share it with all your pals and get your kudos, you can go ahead and share here. Your login info will be already on these apps for Facebook, X, and Instagram. So if you're using one of the user profiles, so you can share here. But yes, that is the exit screen, and then we're going to go back home and you can do another workout. But we're pretty tired today, so we're not going to do it. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I will get an answer for you. But other than that, I think we are good to wrap up. Thank you all for coming again. Hope you guys have an excellent rest of your week and weekend. Bye.